Okay, just landed back at the manufacturer's city. Still have to drive an hour to get there. I think instead of doing the voiceover on the videos, because I have to edit them and it delays the release of the update, I'll simply talk as we go along. This is the meeting to start the manufacturing for the tooling. So we're going to go through all the drawings and make sure that we can give the green light on tooling manufacturing. So big trip, important trip, they all are, but yeah. Made it to the hotel. I was hanging out to get here. It's been a long journey. I'm exhausted. It's about midday here. We're not meeting the supplier until tomorrow morning. Andrew arrives tonight, late tonight. So we'll go together in the morning and start the process of cross-checking all these tooling drawings, and I'm sure all will be well and we'll give the green light and we'll start manufacturing them. So until then, I'll freshen up and get something to eat. Famous Mr. Kirsch is arriving, has arrived. Here he is. Hey, all the way from Hong Kong or Guangdong? Which one is it?
How are you?
Good, eh? Good.
Collection mall comes around 3 times that collection mall came with for different things.
Okay, driver's here, day has begun. Meet Andrew in the lobby and we'll head to the headquarters and let's go over everything. Let's see where they're at, the progress. Exciting. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, go on. So we discussed in the last update that we're building another prototype. That prototype is ready. That's one of the reasons we're here as well. So we're going to go now and check that out. So it's got some of the updates that we spoke about. It's got all of the updates. Of course, we check everything, make sure it's A1. And here's the strip we spoke about. So the interchangeable strip that allows us to customize our Bronson, your Bronson. It is built, it works awesome. It's just when you pull it off, you just need a little bit of friction, and that's what we're discussing here, just putting a little notch on the side. We checked out the water tank because we refined that design. So again, we're making sure everything works exactly how we want it. Now here is the removable hopper. We took precedence over the hopper divider. You simply turn that knob half a turn and out comes the removable hopper. So if you ever need to change beans, store beans in there, you can buy spare ones. This is a game changer for Bronson. The removable hopper exists, it is made, it is part of Bronson, it hasn't slowed down production, it is here. Great. And just a bit of a closer look. There it is. Nice, simple. All you do is twist the handle and it allows the whole hopper to be removed. We'll have a seal for people who want to have spare ones. That'll go on the top, so you'll be able to stack them. Here's that direct connection door we added with the rubber grommet. So that is now added to Bronson as per your request. And again, just going through everything, every single thing we went over, you know, corners, edges, water outlets, everything, anything and everything. We went over everything because once we go into tooling, we cannot reverse it. So we spent hours every day, all day, going over every part. Here's the outlet that Mr. Kirsch refined, the patented automatic door. So this is unique to Bronson. There was one issue we found, and that was the milk frother. Now see that fitting on the end. So that's an earth. Now that earth wasn't on the original design, as you can see. And it made the frother look a lot uglier, and we're not standing for it. So yeah, we said we need to change it. So that's the one thing we changed. We went back to the office with that, and we spent the next hour or 2 or 3 arguing, going over possible options. And the first option was to put the earth underneath. Now there's compliance, how close the earth and the live and the neutral can be next to each other. So we use the fire retardant plastic, which you can see here. Now that was great. Look how it cleaned it all up. Beautiful. What a difference. What a difference that made. However, the compliance engineer came and said it's not going to work, it's too close. So we created a new solution, and that's to put a 3-pin prong into the milk frother, which actually cleaned everything up a lot. And that is now the solution. So again, just going over everything, all the details, all the changes, everything that is about to be tooled. This trip was about signing everything off. And that's what we're doing. And yeah, we found 1 or 2 little things to tweak, and we've tweaked them. It doesn't slow things down. It's part of the process. It's why we're here. So very animated days, a lot of talking, a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity, and you can see from their faces that had enough. So we went to dinner. That was a long day. It is 10:30 p.m. I just got back into the hotel. We had dinner, of course, as a group. A long day of cross-checking everything, fine-tuning some little bits, making some slight edits here or there, just to make sure everything is smooth and functions properly and has longevity attached. They don't delay production at all, which is why we're here, to make sure production is on time and to make sure there are no things that need changing later on. Because we've entered production, the tooling has started. The 2 larger parts that make up the carcass, we have started on them already. We did approve them prior to this meeting. You can see we've got some pictures of the actual tooling that's being made, that's in the process of being made. And then every other part takes a little bit less time, so we're approving those this visit. So yeah, extremely productive day. So happy with the progress, and I cannot wait. It is happening. Bronson's being built right now as we speak. The tooling has begun. It's getting made. So we saw the next prototype. It has the interchangeable strip. I took some videos, but was so busy pulling it apart and playing with it and discussing things, I don't have any nice clean visuals. I'll try and get some tomorrow. Progress is happening. Day 2, a little croaky. Don't know why, a bit run down, I guess. So anyway, back to the office. I'll give a rundown when we're there. I just caught a glimpse of the white Bronson. So we're going to see the white Bronson. So exciting. I didn't think they were going to do this, but we did make a couple of prototypes and I've made one white.
No internet on the... No internet? I don't know how to upload it. No, 2018, the salary for each hour, 15 RMB, it's very cheap. Even now, it's not much than before. I think we still, I think, more than your each hour. When I first finished university, the salary was 25,000.
No, Australian.
$12 an hour. $12.
So back at it, reviewing changes that were made yesterday based on all the discussions. So we're reviewing those changes. So they're very prompt. The structural engineer didn't come to dinner. No, he did come to dinner, but he stayed back afterwards. So I love that. They've worked hard, knowing that we're here for a short while. And there's something else I've noticed when we go to the manufacturer, things happen faster. So to day 2 updates. While yesterday was about hardware updates, today's about software updates. Now, software slash program is something we can change a lot closer to mass production. That's one of the reasons for the beta testers. Volume, temperatures, etc., user interface. So we've been going through that today non-stop. We have made a change because we've got a lot of feedback from tea drinkers that the ideal temperature for green tea, for any delicate tea, is 85 degrees / 175 Fahrenheit. Whereas black teas, the long black hot water function, all else is 95 degrees / 200 Fahrenheit. So currently you press the hot water button and it will flow continuously until you stop it manually, or it will cut off at a set point. Now when you double press, we've programmed the exact same functionality. It will pour continuously and then stop when you manually stop it, or have a cutoff point, but it'll be set at 80 degrees / 175 Fahrenheit. So we've added that functionality based on the feedback from expert tea drinkers. So cool function. I know it's becoming a lot more popular in the marketplace to have temperature options on kettles. So Bronson now has that option for tea drinkers. What we've also done is really tried to max out the temperature on the hot milk and see how high we can get it. The milk is set for 65 degrees, which is 150 Fahrenheit. It is the ideal milk temperature for hot milk, for foamy milk. It is very, very hot to drink. The temperature is great. We've gone through the temperature for the espresso, and here's a great example of why we have the preheat functionality. Now, we tested the temperature of the espresso without the preheating functionality. Now, when you run an espresso without the preheat, the espresso temperature came out at 45 degrees. That's 110 Fahrenheit. Now, I haven't done it with every machine on the market. However, I've tasted many machines on the market, and they all would sit around this range. The first shot would be 45 degrees, 110 Fahrenheit, nowhere near enough to give you that exquisite tasting espresso that you're after. And then, of course, we ran the second shot straight after and took the temperature, and we were at 61 degrees. That's 140 Fahrenheit, all because a shot came before that. Now, what Bronson does, and thanks to that automatic door, we have the preheat functionality. So Bronson will mimic that first shot, hence why 61 degrees, 140 Fahrenheit is what the first shot in Bronson is. So I love that about these little nuances that we're fixing in the home coffee department. I just love that we've got this opportunity to program the machine exactly how it's meant to be, which is why we set out to do this from the start, is to make a machine that we want in our homes, and to be able to have that opportunity to change all these variables that are not that hard to change if you really gave us stuff. But we're able to do that, and it gives me so much satisfaction and reminds me why I'm doing this, because along the way, the process, the 10-hour work days, the traveling and the croaky voices, and the frustration sometimes with getting points across, you can forget why you're doing this. But today is a really clear reminder that it's about making a coffee machine that is going to make home coffee taste exceptional and do it in such an effortless, enjoyable way while looking pretty damn cool on the bench. So it's been a great trip so far. Still another couple of days to go. We're not stopping. We're going to continue testing everything. So like I said, hardware yesterday, getting ready for tooling, and today's the programming, and tomorrow we'll be just reviewing it all again and making sure everything is to spec, and the tooling will continue on. It has started, which is great news. So we're still tracking for that end of May, start of June, tooling will be completed. And again, just small reviews, reviewing, checking. I think we're talking about the increase of cost, price per unit based on some of the changes. Here we're talking about the color of the water tank for the white machine. So I've mentioned tooling so many times. We're fortunate we have experts with us who can explain what the hell this means. I don't want any of this technical stuff. Maybe if you can dumb it down for us.
Okay, so what you're looking at here is an exploded view of an injection mould, and these bits here are like the main build-up of the mould, which what you've got to imagine is that we're injecting plastic into a mould at very high pressures, and so that steel has to take those pressures. Now where we're at is they've ordered all of the material, and these bits in here are the bits that actually have the shape of the product in it. The rest of it is being done at another factory where that'll come in about 2 weeks' time. These bits, they've already started machining our parts.
Oh, so that's what we saw, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got some samples.
So this is actually tooling.
Our tooling, and this is actually part of a cutting machine. This started as a solid block of steel, and now they've drilled holes in it, they've done stuff.
All these holes didn't exist?
No. Just a solid block of steel. So and what they're doing is they're roughing it out now so that what happens when you do this bulk removal of material, and I'll show you more pictures of that. So you can see they've taken away large amounts of steel. So these are all parts of our moulds. And it's hard to see, you know, to someone who doesn't know what they're looking at, but those bits are bits of steel sticking up that they've left protruding, and they'll be part of the product in the end. So you get an idea there of how much has been removed, can you see? So that was a solid block of steel to start with, and this is one of the sliding cores of the main part of the mould, the frame of the machine.
And the quality of the steel, because there's different.
This is really expensive steel.
I know that. Don't worry about that.
It's got you know, like high levels of chrome, and it's up there with stainless steel, but it's even stronger than stainless steel and everything.
So we've got 55 pieces, correct?
Yep. Well, no, 55 moulds, which some of them have multiple pieces in them. So we've got, you know, probably closer to like 80 odd pieces.
And so we've done CAD drawings, we've done prototypes, we've signed off on almost everything.
Yep.
So those drawings have gone to the tool maker.
Mm-hmm.
The tool maker has done tool flow drawings,
yep. which show the flow of the material in the mould.
Yep.
And then he's also then done a 3D design of the mould.
This. Yep.
Yep.
So they've done that.
We actually have ones of our mould. I can show that to you. So there's the part. The green bit is the part.
Yeah,
so now you've seen the die set coming in, the outer die set. And here we go. There's the mould. This is showing that this mould just fits inside the moulding machine.
Bronson.
Just to give you a feel for how big this is,
is
1 metre. So we're talking
1 metre for
a part that's the frame of the machine. So the part's only about 300 or 400. So there's a lot of extra part to make that part.
Our tooling's begun.
Yeah. This is part of it.
Bronson's been tooled.
Yeah.
And the timeline for tooling?
So this would probably be a month to a month and a half to finish. It depends on how the first trials of the mould go.
Yep.
Sometimes you can get it that they're pretty good straight away. My gut feel would be for these complex ones that they'll have a couple of goes at them.
And little parts take?
About a month.
All right, yep. But this is the most important. From what I've gathered, the prototyping, the CAD drawings, they all lead to this.
Yep.
And then once it's built, it's just test the machine. Just testing.
Michael, my father was a custom tailor, and his saying was measure twice, cut once, because the material was expensive. His material's nothing compared to this.
Said that recently. A customer said it when I mentioned the 2-week delay. It said that exact quote.
Yeah. So here, the steel, once that's, if I cut too much off this corner here, I've got to weld it. Then the integrity of that mould is now inferior. You've got to do it right from the beginning. Everything's got to be done step by step the right way.
Which we're doing. We do have the best of the best, I believe.
Yeah. These moulds are being made actually by a German company that has a division here in China. Yeah. So you're not talking about a low-level manufacturer. This is a very high-level manufacturer.
Still a croaky voice. It gets better as the day goes on, as you can tell from other videos. Just concluding the trip, going over everything. A couple little details they want to discuss today about the UI, the logic. Yeah, back at it. Day 3. Last day, but many more to come. Exceptional trip. We really achieved a lot. Again, coming to the manufacturer speeds things up at 100-fold. So we'll be back often, fortnightly. Here we are, just going through everything, making sure it is as efficient as can be, both from a manufacturing perspective and a performance reliability perspective. So we just didn't stop for the 3 days. And of course I gave Andrew a tour of the factory and I came across this. It's a product being tested for transport, and I just felt sorry for Bronson knowing that it's going to be shaken up like that, but that's what goes into creating a product. Our expedition is complete. I'll give a thorough update when I'm back in the Bronson office. I'm a little tired, long days, short nights. Yeah, on the way home.